Hey, Amy.
Yeah.
Melissa had her face broke out today from hives or allergies or something.
So she doesn't want to do it.
No, what I suggest you is like send her a message. You're connected with her, right?
Yeah, she wrote me and said, "Are we still on for 1:30?" And
Yeah.
I just said yes, ready now.
Okay, if she wants to do it, she can. If she doesn't want to do it, you be on it and ask the questions. She can just answer them,
Okay.
like without having her face on, right?
So we're just talking, but it'll be my video.
Your video. She's answering like she's on the phone, and then you can take her picture and you can put her picture.
Edit it into the video. Okay. Yep.
Got
Sounds
it?
good. Yep.
We have to be creative sometimes.
Hello.
Are you having love matches with Dane King?
Am I having what?
Love matches.
Love
Like you're
matches?
smiling and like, oh, the dreamy guy.
No, I'm trying to get Melissa to get on here.
Okay, what's she up to?
She just, I told her to log in. She just hasn't logged in yet. So then I asked her for an email to just add her. And then she gave me the wrong email.
Oh.
So we're just kind of.
Okay.
No. No. Dane and I are having trouble seeing eye to eye on something
What's that?
important.
What's that? Life?
Sex.
Oh, okay. I told you, most guys are this phone is. That's all they want.
So, yeah. Aren't you glad you asked?
No, I'm not. I'm an open person, but this is something I want to talk about.
Oh. Healthy lifestyle.
How are you doing?
I can't get Melissa on here. She keeps saying she's not getting the email.
Is it past the meeting time?
Yeah, it started at 1:30.
What time is it
1:49. I started at like maybe 1:40 or 1:35.
now? Okay, but was she on it at that time?
No, she hasn't been on at all. She can't get on for some reason.
Did you
What?
send her the
What do you
link?
mean no?
Huh?
Just one M. Oh,
What?
okay. She sent me the wrong email address at first, and then she said there was a T in there, and then she said no T, it's an M, but now it's just one M, so that's why it's going to the wrong email address. Okay.
You got it now?
Yeah, I wrote her back and I was fine, like, is this the email address? And she was like, oh no. Because she said it's Melissa, what she wrote was Melissa T. McBride, 16 at Gmail. And then she said, it's not a T. I don't know how they got in there, just M. So I put an M instead of T. And that's what I've been sending it to. I was finally like, is this the email? And she was like, no, there's not two M's, there's just one M. You're making it so confusing. Just send me the email address. Hi, there you are.
Good?
Yeah.
Hi.
So, are you feeling good about being on camera today?
Well, can you tell I have a million zits on my face? Because I tried this method from a dermatologist and it made me break out.
I can't, but hold on. Let me make it bigger and see how it actually looks on my end.
I tried to cover them up to the best of my ability, but Jessica was like, what happened to your face? And I had to explain.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't see right now, but it's probably the lighting and the fact that you're like this big on my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn your camera off,
Okay.
and then we'll talk just like we would. And then you can send me some pictures of you, and I'll edit the pictures in when you talk. So like the really cool pictures we took the other day, when you talk, it'll voice over, but just an image of you instead of actually you on camera, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, let me pull up like what's that? Do you have a Mac? I can't remember what that app is called. Where I can just like look at myself basically on my computer.
You could just open up any camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Because that would probably make it easier on you. Not the App Store.
Yeah, it would definitely make editing easier, but it won't matter. I mean, I want you to feel comfortable and confident, and
Thanks. This is
it'd be a
like,
good way to showcase your awesome pictures because you had really good pictures.
oh, thanks. Okay, it is. Where the heck is the photos? You just go to photos. I bet I can pull up a camera here. Fine. I'm just like confused about where the App Store is. No.
I mean, if Jessica already saw you and she was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, it's probably gonna show up.
Probably
Okay.
best to not. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's just do it.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay, so so at the end I've been asking everybody like how can we get in contact with you, or basically like what do you want to promote through this? So are you going to do like your blog? You
Yeah,
want to
I
talk
guess
about your blog?
I'm not really like at this point turning it into a business. It's sort of just like a hobby.
That's okay. We can still direct people to it.
Okay. I'm still
And
working on it.
what's it
but-
called?
Faithfootforward.org.
Faith Foot Forward.
.org.
Okay. So I'm going to do like a brief little intro, and I'm going to say, today I have Melissa with me. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. You can say whatever you want as your introduction. And then
Okay.
I'm going to ask you how compassion has played a role in your life. And from there, we'll just conversate
Okay, that works.
until I'm like, all right, well, let's wrap it up. So like 15, 20 minutes-ish. If it goes a little bit longer, it's okay. I just have Sharona after you. So
Okay.
it won't be a huge deal if we run over.
Okay,
Okay?
that works.
Sounds good? Okay, great. I'm Amy with Be Radiant Inside and Out, and as part of our 21-day compassion challenge, I'm speaking with other people who have had compassion play an important role in their life. Today, I'm speaking with Melissa. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Melissa.
Hi, Amy. I'm Melissa. A little bit about me, I guess. By profession, I'm an intensive care nurse. I practice Islam as a spiritual path, and compassion has played a huge role in my life, both in my relationship with myself and with others.
So what is one of your most memorable moments, or a moment where compassion was, like you're just grateful that compassion was in that moment?
I've really never had a very hard time being compassionate with other people. So when I think of how compassion has like really wowed me, it usually has to do with myself, because I've historically tended to be very hard on myself. So learning to have compassion for myself and forgive myself for my imperfections has really played a huge role in my happiness and ability to overcome some of my challenges.
So self-compassion, really.
Mm-hmm.
So what's something, since you've been working through some self-compassion, what helps you the most come into that self-loving, compassionate space?
I think as I've developed a relationship with the Creator and realizing that like what I ultimately want is this sense of love and like total acceptance, that doesn't require me to be perfect. So
really finding ways to meet yourself where you're at.
yes, exactly. And that I firmly believe that my creator meets me where I'm at. So why the heck can't I?
Right. So not having unrealistic expectations and understanding that there are times that we fall short.
Yes.
So what's probably one of the most powerful experiences you've had with maybe witnessing compassion? I know you said with your faith right now, there's a lot going on in the country that is causing a lot of turmoil for people. And we see a lot on social media and the news where people are having a lot of conflict with that. How has that come into your life, or not?
I guess I have a lot of friends from different, or people that I've met, obviously we live in kind of a melting pot here in Fort Wayne and then just in the US in general. I've had people like reach out and say, hey, like I have compassion for you about like maybe, your religion being persecuted, or just a lot of conversations about the other, quote unquote, having compassion for the other, quote unquote, in terms of like action. Like we had a really neat event. Well, I guess a couple little events downtown in Fort Wayne on the city green outside of the courthouse or whatnot. One was after the shootings in Charlottesville or the, attacks, and the other was like a day of world peace. So it was neat to see people like leave their jobs or whatever they were doing to all come together, like regardless of what age or color or creed or whatever they were. I find that a huge act of compassion, just showing up for each other.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind sharing, from your religious standpoint, what role does compassion play in your religion?
Well, there's a hadith or a teaching from the prophet within our religion, Muhammad, peace be upon him, that talks about like so much as like trying not to harm like ants, and animals and the most helpless of creatures. So, I mean, if you start at that level, I mean, that's so basic, and that requires such a level of mindfulness, and it trickles out. Like compassion is a huge role. In fact, you're supposed to really like look beyond the flaws within your brother or sister's heart and emphasize the good in them. There's a huge emphasis on helping the poor, taking care of the elderly, those types of things. So.
And then you said you're a nurse as well, so I'm sure, I mean, I can't imagine how stressful that can be sometimes. So being able to have compassion, like not only for yourself where you're at, but the people that you're helping to take care of.
Yeah, I'm definitely challenged with the compassion part and being able to show it. So for instance, this weekend, I admitted a patient who was really, really sick. And of course, my thoughts are trying to implement orders and assess this patient and make sure that they at least get stable. At the same time, the family is crying, and is concerned that this person's going to die. And I'm in this like very intellectual sort of space because I'm trying to carry out all of these orders and dealing with very, potent and potentially fatal drugs if I make a mistake, So it's like you're torn between wanting to pause and like give a hug and provide emotional support and show compassion, which I know I have it, but you want to show it, and then like doing what you have to do in order to hopefully get this person over this hump. So I feel like I'm really challenged in those situations to not just be compassionate, but show my compassion. And then there are people who come into the hospital who may have put themselves in this situation in some way, either neglecting their health or taking drugs, or very kind of unfortunate family situations where it may be like hard to really feel quote unquote bad for this person or have compassion. But I tell you, the more that I've been able to have compassion for myself and, you know, all of these things over the course of my life that I've maybe had a hard time breaking in terms of a habit, or like, why am I doing this over and over again? You know, like seeing how challenging it can be from my experience to get myself out of my behavior patterns or whatever. I am able to translate that into compassion for other people who may be doing something that seems very like counterproductive or insane, you know. But, yeah, it's easy to have compassion for people who are easy to have compassion for. It's not so easy to have compassion for people who make seemingly insane choices.
I love that. It's easy to have compassion for people. It's easy to have compassion for, but maybe those people who aren't necessarily living up to our standards or what makes sense to us, you know, that's where it's really the challenge. That's where you have to really make a conscious effort and tap into that.
Right. I feel like most people, I mean, unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath or something, you know, like most people do want to be happy. They genuinely do want to do good. But a lot of people have, you know, the foundation of their life has been maybe very, very toxic or very, very painful. And they develop these coping mechanisms that just turn into like these very deeply ingrained ways of relating to themselves and the world. And, you know, I got to tell you, like, I got to a place where I realized that there are some things about me that don't make sense or are very counterproductive and toxic or whatever. And able to sort of trace back the roots of this, I was able to see myself like as a child, how I developed these patterns as a way to protect myself or try and run away from these feelings that I didn't know how to deal with. So when I'm in those situations at work or like out and about and I find somebody who really just rubs me the wrong way, because I've been able to do this with myself, I'm much more easy to see them as a child and not take it quite so seriously.
Yeah, the more we develop that mindfulness of where we are, how we react, what's really inside of us, the easier it is to become more aware of how things are impacting us from other people, and then have that compassion, have that empathy for where they're at, and really meet them there. And yeah, that's beautiful. So you have a blog that you're working on. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I do have a blog, and it actually sort of stemmed from my journey of trying to find compassion for myself as I've been going through some issues with autoimmunity and like real health troubles, I guess, that have been kind of chronic for the past 2 or 3 years. So I named it Faith Foot Forward because I'm never really sure exactly what my interventions with myself or the journey going forward is going to look like in terms of my health. And I was like, I can either block out love because I don't think I'm perfect, you know, hold myself back in all these areas of life and just constantly be afraid that what I'm doing isn't going to produce a certain outcome or whatnot. Or I can put my faith foot forward instead of my fear foot forward.
I love that, faith foot forward.
That's what my blog's about. I'm kind of working on it tiny bits every day. Right now I'm trying to finish the introduction portion of it. But yeah, I'm hopeful to be regularly posting within the next like week or two, I would say. So it's available if you want to look at it. It's faithfootforward.org. It's just not entirely complete yet.
Well, we're all always a work in progress. So it makes sense that if this is stemming from your personal journey, it's just going to keep growing as you do.
God willing.
So, let's see. What, if you could leave us with some words of wisdom or some words that have just truly made a difference in your life and helping you be more compassionate with yourself and others, wherever they come from, what would they be?
I would say love heals or compassion transforms. I'll expound upon that a little bit. being a witness to somebody and holding space of love and compassion often can provide a container for a natural evolution, a natural healing of something. So that's what I've learned. I guess rejecting and stuff doesn't really help it.
Yeah. Well, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on today, Melissa. I really enjoyed talking with you and getting to hear more about your personal story, and look forward to watching how your blog continues to grow.
Thanks. I'm honored to be on here, and I look forward to participating in the challenge and filling my jars every day.
Absolutely. Make sure that you go to the Facebook group too and post some pictures and let us know, like, what was your favorite compassionate act for the day, or what did you witness that really touched you? So
Okay.
I want to see everybody's jars, even if they didn't get full, but hopefully you all get them full, because that's the challenge. So if you're not familiar with the challenge yet, it's a 21-day compassion challenge, and you can get all the details on that and learn more and participate, get some resources at beradiantinsideout.com/21-day compassion challenge, and you can see the website below. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Melissa, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
All right, thanks. We're done. Thank
Cool.
you. So I'll edit it and I'll let you know what day it'll be up and everything.
Okay.
If you want to Facebook me whatever picture you most want on there, if you want to pick a couple of different pictures, I can kind of like change it throughout so it isn't just stagnant. But yeah, whatever one you want to do.
Okay, I'll send them to you now.
And then I'll just edit them in. Okay, great.
Facebook is the best way for you.
Yeah, I probably still have access to them through Dropbox, but that'll be the quickest way probably.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks, Melissa.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.